Hello boys and girls, and welcome to my preview and predicted 1 to 11 to Chelsea versus Arsenal at the weekend. Sponsored by the Fan League app. At the very end of this, I'm going to show you exactly how I went last week. 11 out of 13. Not too bad. Now, before that, let's get into the preview. It is a massive game this weekend. It doesn't need any introduction. Chelsea versus Arsenal, one of the biggest games of the season. Will we actually put a performance in? Can we actually turn up and actually win at one of the other big teams? Or are we going to get rolled over and battered as per usual? In terms of Chelsea, they're not having too bad a season. First game of the season, they lost at home to Burnley. But we will put that down to a freak result because they had 2 players sent off. I believe for this game, those players that were suspended are actually back for this game. So it'll be interesting to see whether they come back in, especially Gary Cahill. In terms of Arsenal, well, I don't think that it's going to be anywhere near the same kind of team that they had in the Europa League. They rested all their key players, so we simply have no excuses for not turning up and performing. We can't turn around and say, well, we played the Europa League on Thursday. We were a little bit tired. We were a little bit jaded. We can't use none of that. Our players should be ready. Our players should be fresh. Now, Chelsea, yes, they played a Champions League game, but they had a relatively easy one playing against Karabakh. And they won that game 6-0 very comfortably. So, yeah, they should be fresh as well. It promises to be an interesting game, but I really can't see what we're going to do with this. I've got no real confidence going into it. But I'm just hoping and praying that the Liverpool performance may have actually woke something up inside of these players and they might actually turn around and put a fucking performance in for once. But we'll wait and see. Now, in terms of my 1 to 11, we're going to get straight into this and we're going to keep it very simple. Like I said, it's going to be totally different to the Europa League team. This is what I'm going to go with. So in goal, we're going to go with Cech. Going back to Chelsea, you've got to put a better performance in. Remember what happened last year? It was like you was Agent Cech. None of that again this time. Cech goes in goal. We're going to stick with a back 3 and I can't see this changing whatsoever. So we're going to stick with Monreal, Mustafi and Koscielny. In terms of the wing backs, we're going to start with the right hand side and we're going to go with Bellerin. One thing about Hector is he needs to sort out his final delivery. It really is frustrating and it's like he gets into good positions and then he just thrashes at the ball. He doesn't know what he's actually doing. If he can actually work on that part of his game, then he could be a really good right wing back. Going to the left wing back role, we're going to go with Kolasinac. Now, he's the polar opposite to Bellerin. When he gets into that final third, his delivery is spot on. He's already created a couple of assists this season. He's been one of our better players. And unlike Liverpool, he will not be rested for this game. He will play this game. And I think that he can cause Chelsea a lot of problems, especially Victor Moses. We're going to go into the central midfield role. Now, I would actually like to see Jack Wilshere in there, but I don't think that's going to happen whatsoever. So we're going to go with type and we're going to go with what Arsene Wenger would go with, and that is Granit Xhaka and Aaron Ramsey. Now for this game, Aaron Ramsey, you need to stop disappearing. Don't try all these Hollywood runs. Actually sit as a midfield pivot and go when you need to. It's about discipline and you've got to put that performance in. Granit Xhaka, no giving the ball away in stupid places. Do what you can do. We go to the position just in front and we're going to go with Mesut Ozil. Now he had a really good performance against Bournemouth, but this is the game where you've got to turn up in Mesut. You've got to put the performances in which make people say, you know what? Okay, fine. He stood out in this game. He grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. Mesut Ozil goes in there. Just in front, we're going to go with Alexis Sanchez. Now, it was really unlucky for Danny Welbeck to be pulled out of this one, in my opinion, if he is, because he's actually been scoring goals. But you can't leave Alexis Sanchez out. I'm sorry, it is that simple. He's our best player, a world-class player. He loves these type of games. He's going to be ready for this, and I think that Alexis Sanchez should be starting there. Just in front, we're going to go with Alexandre Lacazette. I'm really happy with what I've seen so far with him. I'm happy with how his life at Arsenal's going. Couple of goals already. He's had a goal wrongfully disallowed. And he looks really good. His link-up play, his hold-up play, and his overall play in general has been really good. He was left out of the Liverpool game. I don't think he's going to be left out of this one. This is a chance for us as fans to see what he's like against one of the bigger teams. So that's my starting 11. I think that is a very strong lineup. But will they be able to put the performance in? It's down to them. It's down to them to prove us wrong. And it's down to them to shut us up. And it's down to them to prove within themselves that they can do it. It's time we went to one of these big teams and we actually laid down a marker. We haven't won at Chelsea since 2011. And for a club the size of Arsenal, that is simply not good enough. So it's over to you boys now. We can't say no more. Let's see whether you can put the performance in or not. Now, as I said, we're sponsored by the Fan League app. And for all of you that are new, I'm going to give you a little walkthrough in a moment. We started last week. 13 games you predict over the course of the weekend from the Premiership, Championship, etc, etc. And I got 11 out of 13 right. I've got my own league. You can find the link in the description below and you can join that league and you can challenge me. Guess what? I'm #1 ranked within the whole region. Yeah. Don't really know much about football, do I? Or was it beginner's luck? Test yourself against me this week and we will find out. Now we go into the Fan League app and you can see everything all there in front of you. Now, for all of you that are new and you want a more detailed walkthrough, you go to the videos at the top there and you scroll across to this one and it's how to play. And they, as I said, will give you a more in-depth, detailed discussion on how to play the games. Now, we're going to go into the play section and it gives you game week 6 there with the 13 teams that have been selected. Now, we're going to go to my previous one, which was last week. And as you can see there, I won £87.56. We're going to go into that and I got 11 out of 13. The 2 games that let me down, I had Southampton to beat Watford when Watford won. And I had Swansea to beat Newcastle and Newcastle won. So unlucky there, but I'm quite happy with that. So not a bad start. Now, as I said, we go into game week 6. And we're going to go through this very, very simply for you now. Nottingham Forest against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I'm going to go for a Wolverhampton Wanderers win, which means you click number 2. With Nottingham Forest playing at home, you never know. So I'm going to half hedge this and I'm going to click a draw. Millwall against Leeds United. Now, Leeds United are absolutely flying right now. Millwall had a good result in midweek at QPR. But I think Leeds are going to have too much for them. So I'm going to go with an away win. Cardiff against Sheffield Wednesday. I'm going to go for a home win with this one. But you never know. Sheffield Wednesday could turn up. So I'm going to half hedge this and I'm going to go with a draw. We go into Brentford against Reading. I can't see anything but an away win for this game. So I'm going to go with a Reading win. West Brom against West Ham. I'm going to go with a West Brom win. I can't really see West Ham picking anything up in this game. Even though they got a good result the other day. Actually, I'm going to half hedge this one. I'm going to go with a draw as well, just in case. We go into Watford against Man City. I can't see anything but a Manchester City win. They're looking really strong, really powerful right now. And I know that Watford had a great result at home to Liverpool in the opening game of the season, but I just don't think that they might have enough for this one. Newcastle against Stoke. One thing I've learned is that never bet on Newcastle because they always just seem to do the opposite. But they're in there. I've got to do something and I'm going to go with a home win based on the fact that they're at St James's Park. And they will be quite buoyed by the win at Swansea last week. We go into Liverpool against Burnley. Now, since Liverpool beat Arsenal 4-0, they've kind of gone back to their old self. They've lost 5-0 to Man City and they drew in midweek in the Champions League at home to Sevilla. But I can't see anything but a Liverpool win for this game. I can't see Burnley picking up anything whatsoever. Huddersfield against Leicester. I'm going to have to go for the draw with this, but with the fact that, you know, Huddersfield are just starting to find their feet and they're starting to realise that the Premier League is not as easy as you think. I'm also going to go with a Leicester win, which means I'm going to half hedge it. Barnsley against Aston Villa. We're going to go with an away win, but Aston Villa seem to be drawing quite a few games, so I'm going to half hedge this and I'm going to go for a draw. Tottenham against Swansea. Can they win an actual Premier League game at Wembley? I think they will for this. Swansea look really poor, so I'm going to go for a Tottenham win. Chelsea against Arsenal. Why did they have to put this in here? I can't see anything but a Chelsea win. I'll be very surprised if we get anything out of it. So I'm going to go with a Chelsea win, but I'm also going to put an Arsenal win because I'm hoping and praying deep inside that we can get something out of this game. Manchester United against Everton. I can't see anything but a home win. But you never know. maybe Wayne Rooney can come back and haunt Manchester United. I can't see him winning, but they could pick up a draw. We never know. I'm hoping anyway. So those are my bets. That's what I'm going to go with this week. £25.60 will be the bet. We're going to select that, press confirm, and there we go. The bets are on. Now, if you're new to this, what's really cool about this app is that you can change your bets up till 5 minutes before kickoff on the very first game. You know, you could change your mind. So if an hour before kickoff, team news comes in, some regular players are maybe rested because of midweek action, you may look at that and say, do you know what? The other team stands a bit more of a chance now, so I'm gonna go and change it. So like I said, 5 minutes before kickoff, you have that opportunity. Now, as I said, I want you to come and join my league, the Mr. DT League. The link is in the description below. Join that, come and play against me, and let's see if you can beat me. And along the way, let's win some money together. It's a really cool app. Get involved, and we'll find out if any of you have actually beaten me next weekend. So there you have it. That's my preview to Chelsea versus Arsenal. That's my predicted 1 to 11. And that's my walkthrough and my gameplay for the Fan League app. Make sure you subscribe, like and comment. And I'll see you for the matchday vlog of the Chelsea game. Please, Arsenal, let it be one of me celebrating. Come on! Try not to let me down.